Hello. Well, a very quick reflection today as part of my kind of explainer series, trying to explain at least my experience, which of course is not always going to be representative of everybody else in the trans and cross streaming community, but it is one data point, as it were. And this is on the question of whether an interest in cross dressing has to do with a particular fascination with clothes and makeup and hairstyling and all these sorts of things that a male to female cross streamer might usually associate with perceived benefits or difference, at least different ways of adorning yourself and appearing that at least in Western culture and in other cultures is marked out between the sexes, between male and female. And for me, I think the answer is absolutely no, strangely. Indeed, when I reflect upon this, some of those things I positively really don't like. I find it's not something I do myself particularly, but when I go and have makeup applied, it's a bit of a chore. It's not something that has any kind of pleasure particularly attached to it. Some of it's a bit fiddly and messy, even. Um, Attaching false eyelashes and false nails, this kind of thing. I absolutely loathe nail varnish. I don't like the smell, and the whole process of setting that and letting that dry really is kind of something that almost gives me a bit of a yuck feeling. Um, and I don't really think, even in clothes either, they're just clothes, essentially, at the end of the day. There might be some that have a nice soft feel to them, but there's nothing really fundamentally different um, these days, at least, in which men in my country, in the UK, have a good range of colours and options for how they want to present themselves. I guess one exception might be a summer dress on a nice warm summer's day. That freedom, that flow, um, definitely would give a sense of being free and expressing, yeah, what I would see as feminine flow. So yes, I would say that one is, and I also think I probably have some fun styling hair into different forms, which again doesn't tend to be the preserve of men. Now, I think it is the case that some of the undergarments, the shaping garments, as it were, certainly do add to a sense of consciousness that I have. Awareness is perhaps one of the few essential cues of how I am dressing, as opposed to what's going on in my mind, how I think I am projecting. So, yes, probably that is something which is satisfying, plays its part. And I guess also some of the design of the style of the outfits also aims to emphasize shaping. So again, the finish look here is really what matters. But generally, all of these things are a means to an end. It is the end result. It is how I feel I am looking, my sense of um, self image, which may be a little bit rosy. It may actually be a little bit brighter than I'm really presenting. But when I feel I am attractive, when I feel I am stylish, when I feel that I look the part, that is when there is this wonderful feeling of joy that arises. That's when I feel the feminine within me can be expressed. And curiously, I think I seem to have this sense more intensely when dressing as Claire or Anya than I do as Clive. I don't have much of a self image in my male mode, which is really quite curious. Maybe I'll get an answer to that one in time. So purely a data point here, part of the sort of explainers trying to fill in on what this curious life of the cross streamer is like. My experience will not definitely be the same as others. There certainly will be others who are very attracted to all of the things, all of the trappings, as it were, that don't necessarily hold a great deal of appeal to me. But filling in a little bit and perhaps answering this question that might be there, um, at least for all cross streamers, I suspect I'm not alone in saying it's not primarily, or indeed really much at all, to do with dress and makeup and so on. It's about feeling and expression and tapping into this person within, allowing this person to have expression and a sense, mental sense, if you like, of presenting in a way that they are happy with and feel they want to present as.